Sometime later the brook dried up, because there had been no rain in the land. Then the word of the Lord came to him.
Go at once to Zarephath in the region of Sidon, and stay there. I have directed a widow there to supply you with food.
So he went to Zarephath. When he came to the town gate, a widow was there gathering sticks. He called to her and asked,
"Would you bring me a little water in a jar so I may have a drink?"
As she was going to get it, he called,
"And bring me, please, a piece of bread."
She replied,
As surely as the Lord your God lives, I don't have any bread, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little olive oil in a jug. I am gathering a few sticks to take home and make a meal for myself and my son, that we may eat it and die.
Elijah said to her,
"Don't be afraid. Go home and do as you have said. But first make a small loaf of bread for me from what you have and bring it to me. And then make something for yourself and your son. For this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. The jar of flour will not be used up, and the jug of oil will not run, till the day the Lord sends rain on the land."
She went away and did as Elijah had told her. So there was food every day for Elijah and for the woman and her family. For the jar of flour was not used up, and the jug of oil did not run dry, in keeping with the word of the Lord spoken by Elijah. Sometime later, the son of the woman who owned the house became ill. He grew worse and worse and finally stopped breathing. She said to Elijah,
You are a man of God. Can you help me? Or did you come here only to remind me of my sins and to make my son die?
"Give me your son."
Elijah replied. He took him from her arms, carried him to the upper room where he was staying, and laid him on his bed. Then he cried out to the Lord,
"O Lord, my God, have you brought calamity even upon the widow with whom I sojourn by killing her son?"
Then he stretched himself out on the boy 3 times and cried out to the Lord,
"O Lord, my God, let this child's life come into him again."
The Lord heard Elijah's cry, and the boy's life returned to him, and he lived. Elijah picked up the child and carried him down from the room into the house. He gave him to his mother and said,
"Look, your son is alive."
Then the woman said to Elijah,
Now I know that you are a man of God, and that the word of the Lord from your mouth is the truth.
I assure you that there were many widows in Israel in Elijah's time, when the sky was shut for 3.5 years, and there was a severe famine throughout the land.